All right, yeah, guys. So Pratik, I won't introduce you again because you have become a regular guest for us at as at RocketHub webinars. But welcome once again. And today's webinar is special because Pratik has launched a new product, completely new product. It's called FlexiSign, and we are kind of here right now to showcase you how FlexiSign can prevent your documents being stolen by a remote hacker sitting in a basement. So if you want that guy to not steal your documents, not look into what you're signing, or what the other parties are signing, so make sure you attend this webinar from beginning to end, where we take you through the whole journey. And Pratik actually explains you why FlexiSign is the best choice in the market and why you need to get on the train right now. So welcome and thanks, Pratik, for again for joining with us.
Thanks, Karan. Thanks for inviting and making us a regular appearance at.
Oh man, it's awesome. We do it. It's amazing.
Uh,
Cool. Yeah.
so I think how FlexiSign came up is something very interesting. Number one, because I was seeing there's a lot of tools doing like lately doing the e-signature thing. I tried off many of them. Turns and I've been like using Docusign, PandaDoc, Adobe Sign for quite some time. In fact, I was using Adobe Sign for almost last 2 years. Just yesterday I canceled the subscription for Adobe Sign. So I pretty much understand what e-signature are, but it seems that like when it comes to legality, there is definitely a lot of like misconception, and I was seeing a lot of tools popping up. So this started somewhere in around, I think, February, and I was like, this needs to change because there are so many different regulations when it comes to e-signature. Okay, and if you even see like what level of document do you have, even the different document needs different level of e-signature. So there is basic signature, which is called digital, and by there is a huge difference between digital signature and e-signature, and most of the time people don't even understand it. So let's say today, if you are just burning your signature on a specific document, okay, it's called digital signature. Now, what happens in the process of e-signing is that, let's say, Karan, there is a agreement. I was going to say argument. There is an agreement between you and me. Okay, now I sign the agreement and you sign the agreement. So there is, and then what we do is that we take that agreement and we send it to an e-signing solution. So what happens is that there is something called as a document signing certificate. It's called DSC. And now this document signing certificate, it is used to hash your document. And then once it is hashed and it has been certified, you can see that there is this label on top of your document. And the best part is that to see that particular labeling, you have to open that document in Adobe Acrobat. And if you see over there that, okay, this thing is, like all the signatures are valid, then it is a valid signature. So this is the difference between digital and e-signature. So many people confuse that digital signatures are legally binding. Okay, so then we did research this for quite some time, and turns out that yes, digital signatures can be valid, but like there, if there is a certain high level transaction, then you also need to verify and certify the signature. So for example, let's say you have something wherein there is uh let's add, there is no monetary aspect involved. Okay, for example, I have given this, so I'm giving out, let's say, laptops to my employees, and there is no monetary thing involved, and I just want a paper trail wherein we say that, okay, this is the laptop, we have given it to you, you have to take care of it. So then in that case we can just do digital e-signature wherein we can just burn it. Now comes eSignatures. So eSignatures, there are multiple level of eSignatures also. So there is something called as qualified e-signatures. Then there is something called as entity identity qualified e-signature. So when you say qualified e-signatures, it means that we send an email to you. Okay, you open an email, then you go to that particular document, you sign it. So here we have somehow verified that okay, this email was sent to a particular person. He opened that email and then he signed it. Now that is here is a problem, and I will let you know what exactly is the problem. So for example, let's say today Karan, are you married or no?
No, man. Thank God.
Okay, you're happy about it. You should. Okay, so let's say hypothetically, Karan, you are married. Okay, and now because someday you will be, right, Karan? Or you're enjoying this single life. Okay, so
No,
so let's
man.
say
I think I will be bachelor for life. I've seen a lot.
so let's say Anil is married. Okay, Anil is married
Oh
or not?
yes.
Because today it seems like we have a roasting session.
No, Anil is 650 plus, so he's definitely right.
You cannot tell. Anil, are you married? We are just waiting for your reply.
Yeah, he is.
I, I, I better be careful. So, so let's say Anil, we've sent a document to Anil, and Anil's wife, uh, like she just opens his email, and she signs it on Anil's behalf. So the document is still, e-signature. Okay. And between the computer and between all of us, and then Karan, I signed this e-signature and I told Anil, hey Anil, give me my $100,000 that you owe me. And Anil says, I have not signed this.
Hmm.
So but I can tell him that, hey, this is the proof that you signed it. So that is a qualified e-signature, wherein we just assume that okay, we sent an email to Anil, he signed it. So that's one kind of e-signature, but the authentication, there is definitely an authentication, but it can be broken. Now there is something called as identity verified e-signature solution. Okay. So what happens is that in the identity verified, what happens is that we also verify the identity of the person signing the this particular e-signature, and that is a feature which is coming soon to FlexiSign, wherein
Sure.
like if you have used a KYC verification process in MakeForms, you know that we before signing the person will be there will be a KYC pop-up coming up. He has to take a photo, then he has to upload some of his identity document. So that is called as identity verified e-signature solution. That thing is coming to FlexiSign soon. Now even now, so that is the difference between digital signature, qualified e-signature, and identity qualified e-signature. Wherein the identity qualified e-signature is the topmost. Okay. So that is these are the differentiations. So and then if you see Docusign and PandaDoc, Docusign offers identity verified e-signature solution, but then they have another service called identity verification service, which is charged additionally. Okay, because everyone charges for an identity verification. Now the
Hmm.
so that is all about the e-signature. Now we will come to the certification part of the process. So there is something called as AATL, which is Adobe Approved Trust List. So Adobe, what they have, so this certificate that I was talking about, so there are multiple types of certification. One is the organization validated certification, and the other one is the individual verified certification. So whenever you want to have a document signing certificate, you need to get one from a certificate provider. So just like we had SSL for our website, if you remember a couple of years ago, you would have to go to VeriSign or these kind of websites, and then there were people were selling SSL certificates for website for like couple of $100, and then it all became free and all those things happened. So similarly, you get certificates for your document signing also. Now turns out that Adobe has taken up to themselves to create a list of Adobe approved trust list. Okay. So we have, like, if you go to their website, there are lists of Adobe approved trust list, and you have to go to one of the provider, get the certificate, and then do your programming and all those other things. Turns out EU being EU, they have another thing called as EUTL, which is European Union Trust List. And then what EU tells is that EUTL and they have another compliance name called EDAS. Okay. It turns out Europe tells that if you are looking to like sign certain documents about like your property in Europe and this, then you need to be EDAS compliant. Here is where everything changes, because EDAS is like there are only 200 companies that give out EDAS compliant e-signature document signing certificates. And FlexiSign is the only product which gives you an option whether you want to sign this document using Adobe approved trust list or European Union trust list. So the point of this entire discussion here is that uh, we have launched FlexiSign because this was like my personal agenda. Okay, because I was seeing this all this many products cropping up, wherein everyone was talking about the legally binding e-signature solution, and I strongly feel that to be like legally binding, just to say it's legally binding, but like to actually understand the whole concept. So in February we started with all this research as to what exactly is e-signature and what all things goes into this. So this is a very small brief introduction of how and what we have done. Okay.
Got it.
So, and I think Kenta has a question. Will you charge extra for identity signature when it goes live? So the question is yes, because we get charged about $1 for one identity verification from our providers. We will see what we can do for the LTD community. If we can, like let you purchase them and bring your own key. So that is not yet decided, but we'll soon have an answer for that, because like these identity verification companies, they charge they don't even give out these accounts. Like we have been fighting with our existing vendor, whom we already have an account with, but they are not giving an account for FlexiSign. So getting that because like if you get a KYC thing today, and KYC is something which is very sensitive topic. So these companies who do these verifications also don't give away the accounts very easily. Okay. So I think now let's do this. Let's start our demo. Okay.
Yeah,
So
let's go for it.
let
That's a good brief. Because when you see it, right, people don't understand this difference. They think, okay, it's security. I mean, it's coming out, it's secured, it says it's secured. So, but there's a lot of technical stuff which goes behind, I think, building the tool like this. And I think this level of security which is there and which you're going to see is something which I haven't seen it, which means you have like all these countries where you can store it, and it's legally binding in all of those countries as well. So yeah, I think everyone who's listening to this conversation, you are going to see a lot of improvements, a lot of new features coming in.
yeah.
And in terms of security, because again, we have seen in the past documents getting leaked, documents not going to the right person, or they being stolen, which causes I think millions of dollars in losses to many companies. So having this option is important, and I think you need to get on the train. So now we would go inside the demo. Pratik is coming back soon. So how do you guys feel about FlexiSign till now? Just let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about FlexiSign. Because our main aim is to keep you secure as a buyer, as as a business, or as an individual who is going to sign a lot of agreements, not just business, but let's say rental agreements or stuff like that, right? So yeah, let us know what you think in the chat box. Got it. So yeah, Canva again makes sense. I would show you right now. We would show you right now how the security aspect is taken care of. So you would get an idea of what we're talking about,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yeah, cool.
yeah. Okay, so far, but have not here. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'll quickly share my screen.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll just create an account. Cool. So, all right. So I need to verify my email address first. Okay. So this is what the dashboard looks like. Okay, and I'll just get my account activated. Just give me a sec. And Charlie, you can help me with a coupon code. So, like I really want to show people how to, get their LTD redeemed if they already have a an in RocketHub account. So you can
You
just select me one.
Yeah, you want the top tier?
I don't know anything that you want to give me.
Man, it's your product. I'll give the top tier. Take it. All right, yeah. Okay. There you go. You have it in the Slack.
All right, so I'll again start sharing my screen. Okay, so once you are in, what you will do is you will go to flexisign.io/app/redeem LTD. Again, once you're here, you will just enter the coupon code and you will click redeem. So your code is redeemed correctly. And then here you will be able to see I'm on tier 4 and I have unlimited documents. So we'll start with the other stuff first. So the thing is that with the new UI, you have everything here, and you can click on switch workspace, and you can create a workspace. So let's say I do a webinar, I create this. The UI of the workspace is pretty much the same. Okay, compliance this time is really up here. Okay, and actually, the HIPAA compliance that we have, wherein you need to request a business associate agreement, it's very simple now. So all you have to do is you have to create request BAA, and as soon as you do that, what will happen is that you will get an email asking you for the details. So let's say I'll just quickly go to my mailbox. So here, if you see, I have received this thing where it says that review the documents. I will just review the documents for signing. And here it will ask me all the questions. So here it will say the date. I will start. I'll have the clinic name. So for example, this is RocketHub. The clinic type is lifetime deal. And then the address is, let's say, Mumbai. Says okay, and then here I'll just quickly sign and I will finish this. So we are using our own tool for signing, and then once this is signed, I, the owner of FlexiSign, would get the email to sign the business associate agreement. So you can see over here, it's me. Like I will also start signing, and then when you go in here and you refresh. Okay, once everyone has signed, here you will get an option to download your business associate agreement. So now this workspace is HIPAA compliant. Remember, the compliance is on workspace level. So let's say if I switch and I go to my personal workspace and if I check for compliance, over here you will see that my HIPAA compliance is not ready for this particular workspace. So if you are having multiple clients, then you will have to sign the HIPAA for each and every workspace. And just by saying that, here is something that I want to show you guys. So I was recently looking out for an this thing, what you say, a video conferencing app. And when I went to this app called daily.co, and I went to the pricing and I saw the HIPAA compliance. Okay, it says that HIPAA compliance with a business associate agreement is at least $500 a month. That's just for signing one document, and you are getting this at no extra cost. Okay, so because we believe like the entire like philosophy of MakeForms is to actually go ahead and build around privacy and security, and to make privacy, security, and compliance affordable to normal users. Like it does not have to be a hefty cost to the business. Okay, so this is done. We signed our BAA. We saw what it looks like to sign a BAA with, and soon this BAA thing is going to come to MakeForms also, wherein it will be automated for you guys. So that being done, this is the compliance. You can download our compliance certificates, and again, like this entire product is by MakeForms. So technically, and it shares the same compliance levels and same infrastructure. So by default, FlexiSign is also compliant with SOC 2 Type 2. And if you want to see the SOC 2 Type 2 report, you will see that this was planned for quite some time. So you can see it clearly says that the digital signing interface that we have using the public key infrastructure is SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. So all of this is met already. Now let's come to documents. Okay, so this is like you would create a new document. Now what you can do is that you can upload a document from your computer. So let's say this was the last invoice that I received from Adobe. Or else what you can do is you can select a document from Dropbox. So if you have any of your like things in Dropbox, you can. I am not going to log in, but you can select documents from Dropbox, or you can select a document from Google Drive. So like as soon as you select, you will get the like the Google Drive picker, or else you can select from box.com. We are also working on the OneDrive. However, OneDrive, Mike being a Microsoft product, it has its own challenges. So we're not, we don't have it yet. Now, what you can do is that you can start adding recipients. So to add a recipient, you would just put in their name and their email address. So let's say I put in Pratik at MakeStories.io. And here you can actually decide what will be the language of each signer. So let's say there is the signers are from two different countries speaking two different languages. So let's say I will have this in Spanish. Okay. Now the moment you do that, what actually happens is that the email that you want to send out, you can have different messaging. So let's say I am here in English, I would say invoice copy. Okay. Let's take this, let's translate this to Spanish. And I'll copy this. And in the Spanish, I would just put it as Espanol. And I'll say, please sign this document. And if you add a third signer and you set it to German, you will get the option for Germany. And here, what you can do is you can decide what kind of authentication do you want to have. Like, do you want to have an email OTP? If you do you want to have SMS OTP? So let's say if you select SMS OTP, it will ask you to activate it. So when you click that, it actually takes you to the Twilio integration, and then you will have to put in your Twilio credentials here. And here is a documentation explaining you from where you can get these details. Okay. So I'll just do email OTP for now. And if you want to send them a private message that they see while signing, you can put in that private message here. This is a private message. I'll just put it now. Okay. And then what you can also do is you can enable selfie verification. So now when you enable selfie verification, the person has to actually, we will see this right away. And here is the another thing. Let's say for this, I don't want an authentication. I'll just skip it. And here is the compliance that I was talking to you about. So here it says that FlexiSign allows you to decide the certificate that you can use to e-sign or certify a document. If you are in EU and looking for a strong compliance with EU EDAS, we recommend you to certify or sign your document using our EUTL based certificate, which is this one. So let's say we'll use the EDAS compliant one. Okay. And by default, all the documents are stored in Germany. But here are the different countries and cities where you can store your document. So let's say I want to save this in Mumbai. Okay, you can do that. Now here is the document validity. Let's say we want people to sign this within 6 days. So we can do this. You can use the arrow keys up, down, and then maybe you want to send them an email 1 day before expiry. And then you have an option to do auto reminders. So let's say I want to say remind them every 1 day and send them up to maximum of, let's say you can do maximum 5. You cannot go beyond that. Yeah, because then it really doesn't make sense if you have to follow up so much. Then if we want to have a workflow wherein we want to say that, okay, I want this person to first sign and then only the others will sign. So you can just turn on the signing order. Here it says enable this option to specify signing order for recipients. And then you can just drag drop these. So now what we'll do is that we'll go to the next page, and here is where our document will load. And then here you can see that this is actually just me. So we have Pratik and Pratik. So here you can just drag drop. Okay, you can resize it. You can also have a text box, and then in the text box you can name the label. So for example, I want to say position. Okay, and you can decide that whether you want these fields to be required or not. So if you say that I wanted that the person must have it, you just turn on the required. And there are different things that you can do. Let's say you want to have a date sign field, you can put it out over here. Then you have another one. So I just put in the next one, and then I'll just for this we'll just save. And then what you can do is you can either save this or you can send. So now for now I'll just send it. Now since I am the first signer here, okay, you can see the status. It says that it's sent. Okay, and here are the recipients, like these are the two and both of them are waiting. And then since I am the first signer here, I get an option that says sign. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's see our mailboxes. So I'll just go to my email, and if you see the entire email that I received, it's in Espanol, like the entire email. So and now from here on you will see that this particular user who was having his document requested in Espanol, he will see everything in Espanol. So now I click on sign, and since this was to be signed by me, and it was in Espanol, you can see that even this message that we sent, the private message, it's in Espanol. And here I get an option to decline. So if I click this, the entire document will be void. So I will just go ahead and it will ask me for a reason. Actually, let's do this. I will decline it in the other one that I have. So here it says, I'd say founder. Okay, and I say format. So here I just go ahead. Now here I can just put in my name, or else I can just sign it, or else I can use this thing. So actually this is in Espanol, even I cannot understand it. Yeah. So this is done, and now I will finalize this. Okay. So let's try again. Okay. Seems like there is some error. Okay. Okay, seems like there's some error. Let's refresh this. Yeah. Okay, seems like this thing is not saying. I just take a note of this. Let's try to sign again. Okay, seems like it's stuck. Demo gods are not with us today. Okay, so
I think someone has to verify. That's what it was saying, that you
yeah,
need to, I think, verify something. So if that
yeah,
verification is not happening, then I think document
yeah.
won't move forward.
Let's try it again with the another document. I'll just add myself. Then let's put it right with an access code. So this can be an access code that you can share with the person, and I'll add my another email address, and I will have this one in Spanish, so at least we can see what's meant to be there. Okay, so actually, let me just go ahead and do this and using the EETL certificate, because I really want people to understand what EUTL certificate looks like. Okay, and then here we'll use the access code. Let's say this, and we'll turn on the enable verification, and we use the EDAS compliant certificate. And I'll just quickly drag drop this, and I'll sign it, and then we'll send this. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and I sign this. So first it will ask me for the access code. So I just put in the access code, I verify this. Again, now it says please grant permission to access your camera for selfie verification. So I will allow this. And here you can see it's asking me to take a selfie. I can flip this, I will capture this and verify it. So it says selfie verified successfully. And then I just sign it, we'll finish it. So the first thing is done. Okay, now I'll just open my other email address. Okay, I'll review this. Continue, I'll start, I'll sign this. So, okay, here it says that, oh, you can upload your signature. Sorry. So this was in Spanish, so you can either upload, you can draw this, adopt and sign, and then I'll just finish the signing. Okay, so now here when we refresh, you can see that the document is signed. And now when we download these documents, there are three options. So the first one is you can download the document and certificate both. And the second option is that you can download, you can select what you want to download, basically. So I'll quickly download them. Okay, so I go here, and when you see when I open this in the Adobe, here it says that signing and signatures are valid. Now when I open the signature panel, okay, here it says that signed by Synchrony Technologies. So that's the name of our company that owns the MakeForms. And when I open the certificate details, it says Synchrony Technologies signed by MakeForms. Now here, if you see, it says this certificate is qualified according to the EU regulation. So this is what you see when you have a EDAS compliant e-signature solution. If you see, like I have a document from actually that we signed with Docusign. Okay. So this is the one that we signed. If you see the signature, okay, here it nowhere says that it's EU signed, or and even DocuSign does not have this feature where and you can decide which particular signature do you want to use. So this is how you can have EDAS compliant e-signing solution. Now, when we come to now that we have seen this, another way to actually have the track of all your history is to see this. Like you will go to the documents, you will click this document title, you will see the history. So here it will give you all the options, like the email was opened and then it was viewed and this and that. Like you will get everything. Now the best part is that, like we were saying, that whether it's Anil himself signing or someone else. So what you will do is you will open the certificate. Okay, and then if you have a selfie so this is a certificate that, by the way, all of you who has completed will get. Like this is literally a like kind of a diploma certificate, and here it will give you all the details, like when was the email sent, when it was viewed, when it was sent. And here, if you see, if you have a selfie verified, it will take that selfie and it will paste it in front of the signer. So now today we will understand if it was Anil who signed this or if it was someone else. So that is one thing. Then you can also assign, you can decide which folders do you want to have. So for example, we'll say we did this for webinar. So once it's signed, I can move this to a folder so you can organize your documents in a better way. And then there are options like resending it, or like if you can also decide to just cancel this agreement from here. And then once the agreement is signed and it is in your account, there is no way to delete that document. Like you do not even have the delete document. Even if you have sent this to someone, let's say for example we sent this, and if I click on void, even you cannot delete that. Only the documents that are not sent can be deleted. And here, when there is a trail of everything, so if you see the history here, it will also tell you which user has declined. So here, this user has declined this document. So you have an audit trail of every event that's happening. Now let's come to templates, wherein, like if you have something that you want to do, like you have a set template which you want to keep on reusing every day, you would create templates. So for example, this is the, let's pick up a better one now. It seems that I have all the invoices. Okay, let's do this. Let's download a dummy PDF. Okay, let's upload it here. So now what you can do is that this is a template. Okay, so in the templates you have something called as roles. So you can, let's say, add as many recipients as you want. So for example, this is I'll just remove myself. So I want to say first it's the client, and you don't need to have the name and email address right now. I want to say client CFO, client CTO, client legal, and then at the last I want to add myself, and here we would say MakeForms, for example, and you want to have a signing order. Okay, and then you want to decide which one you want, compliance you want to have, and then what document storage location you want to have, and then you will click on next. Now what you can do is that here you can just pull the signatures. So I'd say client CFO, then I'd say client CTO, then I would say client legal, and then it's me. And then I will just save this. Now, when you go to your documents and you click new document, you have an option to choose from templates. And here you can select this template and you can create a document out of it. So here it will pull up all the values. So all you have to do is you have to just enter their name and email address. And in here in the real time, you can decide which particular language you want to assign them. And then you just have to send your document. That's it. It's that simple. Now, when you have created templates, now we'll come to integrations. So here you can activate integrations, like for example, I activate Dropbox. Okay. So again, for Dropbox, I'll have to sign in. Just let's skip that. So for example, I do Google Drive. So what will happen is that whenever a document is completed, what will happen is that FlexiSign will go ahead and it will save the document in your Google Drive folder. So you, and here it's very easy. You just click on open folder, and then you will be able to access that particular folder. So there is this folder that's created. And if you have multiple workspaces, this folder is mapped to your workspace and not to your account. So you will click on FlexiSign, and then the workspace name will be present. So you can, like which particular folder you have, so you can organize it in much better way. Then you have webhooks. So for every events that come in, you can send the data. So here you can decide for which particular event do you want to send out a webhook. Then we have the FlexiSign API. So here you can generate a new API key, and you can decide what access do you want to give to an API. And then once you have the API key, you have all the options here. So let's say this is a goal. So I will just go ahead and I'll all this. So here it says that, okay, you have you get list of all the templates. So for example, this is the template that we have. It has about, yeah, we'll take this template ID, and then you can use that particular template and you can get the response, like how many recipients do you have. And then once you have all the recipients, you can create a document from your template. So if you go through this entire documentation, it is very easy to understand. Then you have the Twilio integration, and then you have Zapier integration. So using Zapier integration, you can actually send the documents, create documents, and have your automation sent. Pebble is almost done, and it will be live in a day or two. And then we have Make.com coming soon and Alpato coming soon too. Then the third thing that you have is the members. So again, we found out that enabling support is the best way for our users to quickly get their issues resolved. So similarly, you also have an option to enable support for FlexiSign, and then you can always invite members to your workspaces. So when you send an invite, you have this option again. This MakeForms users will be very easily able to like make a sense of this. So you can decide what options do you want to give your users. You want them to like, you can decide like, I'll just give full access for now. The entire grid is pretty self-explanatory, and I think with this we are almost done. So I would say that FlexiSign, go for it, because we are bringing many more exciting features. Like if we see the roadmap,
Actually,
yeah. So right now we are working on the payments and the Aadhaar e-signing. So Aadhaar e-signing is for Indian customers only. So what you can do is you can ask the Aadhaar number of the users, and the Aadhaar will send an OTP to them and they can verify it. Then there is web forms. So for this example that we saw here for templates, here you will get an option called form. So you can just send that form to your user. They can fill out the form and the document will be created out of it. Then there's something called a signer attachment. So let's say you are signing something and you want your users to upload the documents like the passport or something like that. They can just upload it. And then there's something called as knowledge-based authentication. So for knowledge-based authentication, what happens is, let's say we ask Anil, like, what was Anil's marriage anniversary date? So, like, that is something that he should remember and he should enter it. So if he enters something wrong, we'll say that, okay, this is not Anil, this is someone else. So
send an OTP, send a email notification to
to
the better half.
yeah, then do that. Then there's something like KYC verification. So this is work under progress already, and we are coming up with custom brands. So custom brands, what can happen is that this emails that you're seeing, you will be able to change the colors and everything, and the logo. So like, but the emails will still always go from FlexiSign, and the reason for this. So and this is a question that many people have asked us, is that signing is something which is very sensitive. So we really cannot do custom SMTPs because phishing can happen at a scale, like even when it comes to custom domains. So let's say like this was literally discussed for 2 days, like not 2 days, at like not in 48 hours, but over 2 days. So we figured out that, let's say today Anil, okay, he connects his custom domain to FlexiSign. Okay, and then he just, what he does is that he just disconnects it from FlexiSign, And he sent out an email to everyone, like asking for their signatures. And at that time, when he uploaded it, there was some another document. But now, once he's done with sending people all those, like emails through FlexiSign, the person decides to, like disconnect it from that domain from FlexiSign, and then upload another agreement to their custom domain. But the email went from FlexiSign. The person clicked on sign. They went to that custom domain, CNAME domain, and it was a completely different document. So the level of phishing that can happen, it's too crazy. So we do not want to risk it. And so there is no way that, and then I'm saying it very clearly, there's no way we can have custom domains for FlexiSign, because the use case itself is so sensitive that we cannot allow that to happen. And that's the same with custom SMTP. The only thing that we can max do is allow you guys to upload your own logo and your colors, but that will change only and only the emails that are being sent. The FlexiSign branding will still be retained once your user has signed, because this is all about authenticity. Yeah.
Correct. I think that will even defeat the purpose, right? I mean, if you're
Yeah.
using your own custom SMTP, like anyone can come and have any email, being sent out. So that way, FlexiSign doesn't have any control. So I think even
Yeah.
FlexiSign won't take the responsibility of anything going on because it's
Yeah.
your own SMTP.
Yeah.
Cool, yes, awesome. Cool. Let's get to the questions. And then we would discuss a few more points, which I think were raised by the community. And of course, those points are pretty easy to answer. Let's go with the first question from Hector.
Yeah.
Can the workspace have an updated certificate with a new document if I give the workspace to a different client?
Can the workspace have an updated certificate? Like what certificate?
Yeah. Hector, can you just clarify what certificate you're talking about? Then we can take your question.
Will
Will
be
Peak Cloud be available?
So what's Speak Loud, by the way?
It's an LT for storage, like Google Drive, but
Mhm.
they're an old company. I think they're still running an LTD and their monthly plans. It's like a data storage company, like Google Drive, Box,
Okay.
Dropbox, stuff like that.
Okay. We can definitely see about it. Like, what can we do? If the integration is straightforward, we can definitely look at it. I would say a roadmap is the best place to put this, with your feedback.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you can have a feature request. So there's a feature request tab. You can go ahead and put your feature request there. Jen's a question, are we able to send the same contract in bulk to, for example, 10, 100 or more different clients to sign for each individual?
So I would say you would have to have some kind of a workflow. Bulk sending, I'm not sure if we would have to think about how we would do it. But I feel that forms will pretty much solve it, because you can just share the form link to your client. They can fill up the form, and as soon as they have filled that form, the document will be created.
Got it. Hector asks a question. This looks good. I bought tier 2. What would be the procedure to upgrade to tier 3? Email to RocketHub, email to support@rockethub.com, and we will help you have that process in transition. I know at the time, just seeing this right now, you would want to upgrade to tier 3. So I
Yeah.
think that's a good thing. Okay. Kent has a question. Does this work based on the assumption that the contract is final? What happens if one party rejects the review? How easy difficult it is to provide feedback comments for the reject?
So
Talking about the
once,
verification or completion.
so I think once it's rejected, the document is declined. Like, you'll have to create a new document, because one party has rejected. I like the review option, wherein like the person sends some message that, hey, but then again, it would be like you have to go upload a new PDF. So it's better that once it's rejected, it's rejected. We'll
It's like
just
you're completing it's not
uh,
working out, so
yeah.
just
So
throwing it.
just think of it in a real life. You just printed out the entire agreement. Then someone said, hey, this is wrong. What you do? You just tear the agreement and you'll create a new one, right? So
Hmm,
it's essentially the same thing.
correct. will the certificate be in Spanish if the system is in Spanish?
No, it will always be in English, because it has to be a globally, like understandable language. And let's say if there are in my example, like one signer was in English, another one was in Spanish. So then we'll have to, like create multiple certificates, and it will have more certificates than the documents in at certain point in time. What if I manipulate the camera, for example, with OBS and simply
All right. What if yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So this is a good question. In fact, so right now we have a very basic, like implementation uh, of the selfie verification. What we are working on right now is an option wherein you will ask the user to see like this, then turn both the sides and capture all the three images. So that is something that we are working on right now. So, but again, it's always hard to beat the technology, I would say, and that's one of the reason why we have this in your certificate. So like then you can say that, hey, this is not how it should have been. You have not signed it and things like that. When the document signing is completed and when we download, can the certificate be added as the last page in the document, like how other solutions do instead of having to download files? So I think this is how Adobe does it. But like this is not been a standard practice also, but I like the idea and I will discuss this. And which was like since we have the timestamps everywhere, and since even the last document is also hashed, I don't think that it should be a problem because you can always download a fresh copy online. Use case, can it be used as Crow to create PDF documents plus have the signing? Okay, so this is again like if you see the roadmap, this is being scheduled. So if you see this, okay, we are working on a document editor. So you literally have the document editor wherein you can draft the entire document, and we are working on quite a few contract templates also, and we would be using our own document editor for that. How can one ask for a new language? So for the new language, just drop an email to support@flexisign.io and we'll see what best we can do. And then there is HIPAA. So yeah, I think HIPAA is again like I need more I think details about it. Can each workspace be customized with that? So yeah, so the branding will be on workspace level and not on the what do you say? Not on the account level. And by the way, even the entire application is available in multiple languages. So here you can see, you can select the dashboard languages. So these are all the languages which we have right now. So you have Arabic, you have Spanish, you have German. So you can use any language which you want. And then here, the one thing that we have is the option to change your email address. So you can just update your email address of your account. And what we'll do is we'll send an OTP to both the accounts. So, like the first,
This is a dream for resellers.
the team is saying that we should be charging anytime any person wants to change the email address in if he's on an LTD plan, we should be charging them $99.
So if you guys are reselling it, you have to pay a reselling fee to
Pay the tax,
MakeForms.
pay the tax. Can team members be assigned to a specific workspace only? Yep. So you can do that. So if you see, this is my personal workspace, and I did not have. So this is another workspace. I can switch to my personal workspace. Okay, I removed the other email address. So I'll just add Pratik at MakeStories again. I'll switch the workspace. I'll go to the webinar one, and here I don't have it. But the good thing about it is that if you have members from other workspaces, it will say that okay, there is a member in your plan, but he's not in this workspace. Do you want to add him? So, like you don't have to search for the people every time. Sina asks what integrations are expected with MakeForms. Well, we are yet thinking because we feel that if you can get a form directly here with, like wherein you can just have a form created automatically for templates, we don't see a need to actually build an integration between MakeForms and FlexiSign. But Sina, as always, you've been very helpful. Send me an email with what you have in your mind, and I'll see what can be done.
Okay, well, some people are chatting in the chat box. Let's see what are they saying.
Yeah, I think will there be a way to access HIPAA and lower tier, for example? No, I think we won't have it because again, like I think we've been very generous to offer unlimited business associate agreements, while most of this has to charge $500 per month to sign a business associate agreement. So
We come to the cost part of it and what you're getting. So I think after this, we address the questions. But we can go to Docusign and PandaDoc and show
yeah,
people the
yeah,
per seat pricing and per user pricing what these guys are charging for doing less than what FlexiSign does right now. All right. So if you guys have
yeah.
ever visited Docusign pricing, just go ahead and take a look for
So here it says $25 per month per user. And if you're a real estate user, it's $45 per month per user. And then it says that you can add only up to 5 users. If you need more than 5 users, please contact us. And then I'm not even sure if DocuSign HIPAA compliance pricing what it is.
yeah, how much do they charge for BA and stuff like that? There's no mention.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if.
So which means even if they do, there is no easy process of getting this done inside your dashboard. With FlexiSign, you just go and request a BA, and I think you are done within minutes once the individual from the other end signs it.
Yeah. So
So like you have to request it. I think.
there is this thing. It says rather than is if I subscribe to a customized plan that includes the capabilities to comply, the business agreement is not an option in any off-the-shelf DocuSign business
So
plan.
it's enterprise, which means
Yeah. And then come to PandaDoc, and we see the pricing. It's $35, and you can just have 2 seats. That's it. That's it. Upgrade to business plan for $65 per seat per month, and that on an annual commitment. Now, I'll tell you, like this literally happened with me. So they are saying that you are committing for an annual. So if you cannot walk away in the middle of the subscription, and I was, if you see this transaction from Adobe, I was charged 676 rupees, like just as a cancellation fee. Like they literally charged me 50% of my monthly billing. So you cannot just walk away. And again, like if you see HIPAA compliance, here they say it's available only on the annual plan, which is $49 into 12. So you are shelling out about $588 per year minimum. And then I think, okay, so this is per seat per month only. So this is it, guys.
there's no other reason. I think even if we didn't do any webinars, we didn't have any D page. If you just have this on the D page, I think you would get the option. What are you getting in
In fact,
return for FlexiSign?
I
Should we
think
paste it? Should we add it on the D page?
so. I think I was gonna say that let's have HIPAA compliance on the top tier. But it was Karan and Charlie. They said no, we need to kind of do it for lower tiers. So and then I said okay, let's do it.
Yeah, because I think you have tier three is where it starts from. So if you have to target, if you have healthcare related stuff going on, and if you need that, then you need that compliance. You cannot like you don't have any other option. And if you go to other people to get it, you'll be charged $500 a month or even $600 a year to even make it happen. So this is
Mhm.
right for a guy if you're getting this, and the process is pretty simple. Even if you subscribe to those other individuals, the
Yeah.
process of getting it signed, it's like a red tape. There's a lot of red tape involved. Here it's like requesting from one click. That's it. Right? So that's the difference.
Yeah, because we want
There's a
to.
question from Jens.
Yeah, he said that is it
Yeah,
on
go ahead.
level? So yeah, there is the API requests are on account level,
Yeah.
and I would say have have the highest tier today. So like you don't run out of API requests tomorrow. I would say if I would max out FlexiSign always because I'm now seeing people looking out for MakeForms Ltd because the kind of feature so we've been quite slow on releasing the features because we were focusing on the what do you say the entire stability of the platform, and we launched six different total six regions and four new regions. So it took us some time. People were thinking that hey, MakeForms is dead, but this week's launch week that we had, people were just kind of they were
Yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, why do people expect? I don't think so. I mean, let's say Salesforce stops pushing out new features like every 2 months, so Salesforce is dead. Like it doesn't happen like that. Software is working, it's working. All right. So updates are like happen quarterly for some of the products, right? Because they're working on it, they need to deploy it. So features are being released. So if a product isn't dead because the features are not getting released, right? There's a question from JC. Am I correct that HIPAA is only for health information of US residents? That's not required in Australia.
So this is a good question. Yes, it is required for US resident, but let's say today, and this is debatable. If in Australia also has its own Data Privacy Act. So if you see Australian DPA, okay, which we are compliant with, you will have the compliance that you need. Okay. Now, one thing with Australian DPA is that it does not require you to have the business associate agreement signed, but it says that you like, and again, this is debatable, but you can safeguard yourself by like storing your document in Sydney. So HIPAA is yes a EU a US compliance, but if you are an Australian healthcare and you are treating a US resident, you have to ensure that like it's HIPAA compliant. Again, there are two views about it. People say that no, it's about the US healthcare company treating a US resident, but like it's always better to be safe than sorry. So if you are an Australian healthcare and out of the blue you have a US resident coming to you, always better to be HIPAA compliant. So again, like
Got
I
it.
say, like compliance is something which does not come to bite you every day, but when it comes to bite you back, it will you'll have a tough time. So always have it on a safer side, be compliant, and like be, as I said, be rather be safe than being sorry later.
Got it. There was a question, I think people said that legally binding, right? So all those documents which we have to FlexiSign, if the document storage is not in their country, so even then it's legally binding, correct?
It's legally binding, yes. So right now you saw
Correct, correct, got it.
yeah, so right now you saw that I signed it with the EU certificate, okay, and we had it written EU. So in India, there is this thing called I just forgot the name. It's called a DS. Okay, so let me see if I can.
DSC, right?
So there is called as a document signer. In India, they call it document signer. So actually, I should have it here. Just give me a second.
In the meanwhile, if you have more questions, just put in the Q&A box. We will cover it very quickly, and we will wrap up the webinar in the next 10 minutes. So please put up your questions in the Q&A box.
You say it says that certified by DS Adobe Systems India Private Limited. Okay. So here, if you see this, okay, if you see the root authority, okay, so it's CCA India. So CCA India is India country-based public key infrastructure. And then they have appointed eMudra as the certifying authority, because Indian government cannot literally issue certificates to everyone. So they have identified 10 or 15 people who would issue these certificates. So eMudra has now issued the certificate to eMudra sub CA. So sub CA is basically a one, like I can also become a sub CA today. And then it is Adobe Systems India Private Limited. So it is, so Indian government has given this authority to all these companies who do all the verification. So if you want to get a certificate, you have to do a lot of documentation and this. So now the legally binding thing, like in India, the reason I showed you this about India is because the Indian government GST portal tells you that your invoices should be signed using a document signer from India. Okay. So whereas did mention, right, like there is something called as EUTL, which is like the EU
European.
trust browser. Okay. And now this is something that I will show you in real time. So this is the website, okay, eSignature, wherein you can literally verify if this particular document was signed using an EDAS compliant solution or not. So here you get an option that says search a trust service with a signed file. So we just actually, I just deleted it. I have a bad habit of deleting. So I will upload this. The moment I upload this, it says that this particular document was signed using a Harika qualified certificate. Okay. And then if you, let's say, pull up one thing from Docusign. Okay, this is one. I'll drag drop this file. So here it says that this is not signed. So, but again, now if you understand the European Union trusted list, okay, here they have explained in detail that these are the country-wise certification providers, and like it says that are specifically accredited to deliver the highest level of compliance with the EU signature regulation. So again, the things that I was talking to you about the qualified e-signatures and all those things. So legally binding is a very, like it is quite open-ended. And again, like as I did mention, right, there are some companies who are not even certifying a document, but they are saying that it's legally binding. But it really depends on what is at stake. Like today, if you are, like having a contract of, let's say, $100,000, you really do not want to have it at stake where you're like, okay, it's fine, we'll just burn the signature and we'll just give an audit trail. So here, if you see, like even the audit trail that we are giving, okay. So for example, this is the audit trail of, this is the certificate. Here you have all these audit trails. Now, if you see at the top, it says that it's certificate and valid. Now, if I go ahead and let's say I change this, for example, we'll try to pick up a document editor. For example, what I'll do is I'll take a rectangle. I'll change this name here. And I'll change this color. I'll change the border. And then where is the text? Sorry. Insert. Cannot. So let's say I'll just write it for not text. Okay, this is something. So, but example, I'm doing this, and now I'm just saving this document. Okay, and I'll close it. Now, when I open it up, okay, it gives me an error. It says that are valid, but with unsigned changes after the last signature. What this really means is that this document might have been tampered.
Correct.
Even our audit trail is certified by us. So now those companies who are saying that, okay, we are legally binding, it's not about how legally binding it is, but whether that particular legally binding stuff is authentic or not. And this is where we are authenticating the document as well as we are authenticating our own audit trail. Like even our audit trail cannot be tampered. I don't know how much more legally binding can this be.
Okay. So even if you let's say they get into an argument in the court of law, and if they show this that this is the trail, and this document has unsafe changes, which means there's a problem. But if you carry if you actually sign secured signed document agreement in the court of law, you will be secured. You won't be going to jail.
Yeah.
So you will be have a much higher chances of winning the case than losing it. This is
Unless
a
and
good this is a good marketing angle if you want to take it. If you don't want to use a case, choose FlexiSign for your document needs.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Great. So I think that is it for today. I think the product itself is quite small, simple, beautiful. And I think we don't have much to discuss left for the day.
Yes. Folks, any other questions you have, just put in the quick Q&A box. We are here for more 5 minutes, and then we let Pratik go. It's late night for them.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to go and take a good sleep. Cool. Any other questions? Otherwise, just type I love FlexiSign in the chat box before we leave. And if you guys haven't yet got the product, it's time before you go to prison for getting stuff signed by a Docusign or PandaDoc. Just make sure you FlexiSign for this. All right, cool. So
Think
we
no
would
more
now
questions.
take your leave. We have no
Thank
more
you.
questions, so thank you so much. Thank you, Pratik. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, for joining in. We're so excited to have you here, and we'll see you
Thank
soon in
you.
the next webinar.
Thanks, Karan. Thanks for your time. Thanks everyone for joining. Bye bye.
All right, mate. Bye bye. See you.